Tupac Shakur, the voice of the streets who became a legend. When people speak about true hip-hop legends, Tupac's name is always among the first mentioned. For some, he was simply a rapper. For others, he was a poet, actor, philosopher of the streets, and a man who spoke about pain in a way nobody else could. Even decades later, his music remains alive, and his lyrics continue to inspire millions around the world. Brief biography. Tupac Amaru Shakur was born on June 16, 1971 in New York City. His mother was involved in the Black Panther movement, so Tupac grew up surrounded by political ideas, struggle, and constant hardship. His family often faced poverty, frequent moves, and legal troubles. Later, he moved to Baltimore, where he began studying art, theater, and poetry. It was there that his talent for rhyming and performing truly began to develop. As a teenager, he was already writing deep lyrics about life, injustice, and emotional pain. In the early 1990s, Tupac entered the world of rap music, first as a dancer and backup MC, and later as a solo artist. Very quickly, he became one of the brightest figures in hip-hop. How Tupac entered rap. Tupac's journey into music was different from many rappers of his era. He was not driven only by fame or money. Rap was a way for him to tell the world about life in poor neighborhoods, the struggles of the streets, and the emotions inside the human soul. At first, he performed with Digital Underground. That experience gave him his first real exposure to touring, recording, and performing on stage. However, it quickly became clear that he had too much individuality and charisma to remain in the background. His early songs immediately stood out. At a time when many rappers focus purely on toughness and street image, Tupac could be aggressive and deeply emotional at the same time. One moment, he would deliver a hard-hitting track about survival, and the next, he would release an intimate song about family, fear, loneliness, or love. That balance is what made him unique. Hardships and a difficult life. Tupac's life was far from peaceful. Almost his entire upbringing was shaped by conflict, poverty, pressure, and violence. From an early age, he witnessed crime, injustice, and the harsh realities of street life. When Tupac became famous, the problems did not disappear. In many ways, they became even more serious. The media constantly criticized him, police monitored him closely, and many people viewed him as dangerous and controversial. In addition, he was repeatedly involved in court cases and public conflicts. Some believed that his impulsive personality was destroying his own future. Others argued that society and the media intentionally portrayed him as a threat. One of the most traumatic moments of his life came in 1994 in New York City, when he was shot several times during a robbery. After that incident, he trusted people far less and became much harder emotionally. Later, he was sent to prison, which became a major blow to both his career and mental state. Even while incarcerated, however, he continued writing lyrics and recording ideas for future music. Tupac's music was more than rap. The main reason Tupac remains a legend is his ability to speak truth through music. His songs contained everything: anger, pain, love, loneliness, social criticism, hope, fear of death. He was never afraid to show vulnerability, and that separated him from many artists of the time. For example, Dear Mama became one of the most emotional songs in rap history. In it, Tupac speaks about his love for his mother, despite all the struggles they experienced. Meanwhile, Changes became a social anthem, discussing racism, poverty, violence, and the need for change in society. On the other hand, he also created extremely aggressive and confrontational tracks, such as Hit 'Em Up, which is widely considered one of the fiercest diss tracks in hip-hop history. Tupac's greatest tracks, California. Love, one of the most recognizable hip-hop songs of the 1990s, filled with the energy and atmosphere of the American West Coast. Changes, a powerful and thoughtful song about social inequality and change. Dear Mama, an emotional tribute dedicated to Tupac's mother. Ambitions as a Rida, a hard, energetic anthem reflecting street mentality and survival. Hail Mary, a dark and atmospheric track that still sounds modern today. Keep your head up, an uplifting song about struggle, resilience, and respect for women. His closest friends and circle one of the people most closely associated with Tupac was Snoop Dogg. Together they represented West Coast hip-hop and became hugely influential during the mid-1990s. Another key figure in Tupac's career was Dr. Dre, who helped produce some of Tupac's most iconic music. Earlier in his career, Tupac was also close friends with the notorious B.I.G. At first, they respected and supported one another. But later, their relationship deteriorated and became part of the famous East Coast-West Coast rivalry. That conflict later turned into one of the darkest chapters in hip-hop history. A bit of criticism. Despite his enormous popularity, Tupac was always a controversial figure. Some critics argued that he glorified violence and street culture too much. Others believed that his anger and constant involvement in conflicts damaged both himself and the people around him. There were also people who thought that Tupac intentionally built the image of a dangerous man in order to attract attention and maintain his reputation. Yet even many of his critics admitted one thing: he possessed undeniable talent and extraordinary charisma. Why Tupac remains popular? Even people born many years after his death continue listening to his music today. There are several reasons for this: honesty, emotional depth, meaningful lyrics, powerful energy, a distinctive voice, the rare combination of aggression and sensitivity. Tupac had the ability to speak about problems in a way that made listeners feel he had genuinely lived through everything he described. Many modern artists were inspired by him, including Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, and J. Cole. Final days and tragic death. In September 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas attending a boxing event. After the fight, a shooting took place, and he suffered severe gunshot wounds. Several days later, Tupac died at only 25 years old. His death shocked the music world. Even today, there are countless theories and debates surrounding the case. 5 interesting facts about Tupac. 1. His name has a revolutionary origin. Tupac was named after Tupac Amaru II, a revolutionary leader who fought against oppression in South America. 2. He wrote poetry. Before becoming a rap superstar, Tupac was deeply interested in poetry. Many of his lyrics read like emotional poems. 3. He acted in films. Tupac was not only a rapper, but also a talented actor. He appeared in films such as Juice and Poetic Justice. 4. He recorded an enormous amount of music. After his death, many albums were released because he had left behind a huge archive of unreleased recordings. 5. His influence extended beyond Rap. Tupac's lyrics are studied not only by music fans, but also in universities, documentaries, and cultural studies. Conclusion. Tupac Shakur became far more than just a rapper. He turned into a symbol of struggle, pain, honesty, and inner strength. His music still feels relevant because the issues he spoke about continue to exist in society today. Many artists come and go, but Tupac remains one of those rare figures the world simply cannot forget.